What up, fam? Welcome back to the vlog. I'm Deb, and today we're going to get into installing a ceiling fan. So before we leave about you, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. This here will be the fan that we're replacing. And we are replacing it because the drawstring here has been yanked out and it will not, the light won't turn on in here, so have to replace the whole fixture. This here is the replacement fan that we are going to be swapping it out with. So, I mean, they're almost practically identical, so it should be pretty straightforward. We got a little bit of storage over yonder, so let me move that out of the way so we can get access to the switches and panel. So I don't know about many of you out there, however, myself, I kind of like to have metrics in place to, if anybody were to get in the house, you know what I mean? They would have kind of a difficult time causing calamity in the house, therefore blocking my fuse box so that you can't just disrupt power into the house that easily without causing kind of like a ruckus. Now let's get on to this box. Now, we got to locate the basement bedroom, kitchen by sink, jacuzzi, powder bath, deep freezer, dryer AC unit, kitchen plugs, microwave, dishwasher, basement and outside plugs, front bedroom. Boom, 11. So let's turn off 11. Quick test. No. So as we look through the switches, it would appear that the lights, we need to hit 14B. So there are actually five breakers that are unlabeled. We have to identify and figure out what's what. Well, fam, what's going on? We've identified 5 breakers on our box that are not labeled at all. So we're going to figure out what's what down here in our in-law suite, because the in-law suite's unlabeled. Take you on this journey with us. All because of a light for a fan. The more you know. So 16 has been determined as nothing is going on with it. Now we are going to, we'll try 15. Yeah, we'll try 15 since it's a single bar breaker. I heard some, so something happened. Let's see what it was. Okay, well, it would appear, okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So, none of the lights in here work. However, the outlets still are working just fine. Let me see. Yep. Label 1, breaker 15 is going to be the lights for the kitchen in the in-law suite. Now on to the next one. Apparently, I was utterly wrong. 15 controls the entire lighting for downstairs. So we are going to label 15 properly.
Bingo.
Okay, now that we have identified 15, that's what we're gonna disconnect. Now we can really get to work. Now, in order to get things started, we are going to be detaching 4 screws, 3, maybe 4. I'm not 100% sure we're going to be shifting everything off. The harness. You know what? I lied. We're going to be taking off the blades first. And as you can see, I wasn't tripping. It is a double-sided, so I do believe that we got the proper replacement instead of just a suitable fix. We have new screws, so we're just gonna let these boys fall and drop where they're at. Call it what you want. It's efficient because I can just screw it right on out and keep it moving. And remember, as with anything else, last will be first. First will be last. So taking blades off will be the last step that you do when reassembling. 4 blade fans out, so now we can move on to the next step in this process. We're gonna do the same for the other sides. And actually, I lied right here. We're gonna put this screw back in because it's supposed to twist. I was just supposed to loosen that a little bit. I'm screwing this back in and begin. With those screws removed and loosened, now we can remove this housing. It won't be stubborn about it. So, looks like we did need to have this one out due to the fact that it was screwed in, the way that it was screwed in, it won't allow for it to be twisted to be taken out properly. Boy, the things you discover. See, when it was put up there, this piece here was on the outside, so it did not rotate how it should have. Housing removed. Now we gotta remove the motor bracket, which in order to remove the motor bracket, we have, let me get you, we got 1 screw here, 1 screw here in order to remove the motor bracket. So that's where we're going to get to now. We actually have to remove, gotta remove those 2 screws there in order to take down the motor bracket. Now that portion you guys won't actually see me unscrewing close up, but you get the gist. Tugging all the wires so that we will have access in order to separate everything how we need it. We got green for the ground wire, blue, black, and white. These right here, and the connection of these to the home wiring are actually dictated by whether or not you have a one switch or a combo switch that controls your light and fan. But we are going to disconnect the green wire, the ground wire first. Then from there, we are going to disconnect, because again, we're working in reverse. We're going to disconnect our neutral wire. Now that we've disconnected our ground wire, we're going to move on to the next wire. The next wire we're going to be disconnecting are the blue and black, which are the light and the motor from the black wiring. Blue and black disconnected, black out of the way. Then we have white connected to a second black. I'm gonna have to double check that because that don't seem right. It don't seem like it was connected where it's supposed to be. We're all disconnected here, guys. But this one here has me bugging due to the fact that it's not even connected to anything. It's connected to itself. Oh, duh. Now we're going to take down this mount. So that we can install our next. Old system out. Yep. Looks like the previous people did not install it right at all, cause the white is capped off. White wasn't even connected, and the white was supposed to be connected to the white. Goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Maybe that's why it kept on blowing down here. Not connected properly. Now we're finna get to open the other one and put it in. Out with the old. In with the new. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna remove these two screws here for later use. These two screws here are for the hanging bracket, and they're gonna be inserted near the end in order to secure it, more like retaining screws. Now we have our motor bracket. We need to remove this screw right here for later use as well. Now is when we open our hardware. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 screws in here, so therefore we know that's not for these because we actually need 12 screws for the fan blades. So here are our fan blade screws. Yes, sir. We're gonna do one blade at a time. Now for this step here, whatever side you want to be displayed, you're going to screw it. Of course it doesn't sound odd, but you're gonna insert it on the side that you want to be showing, and you're gonna screw it in on the opposite side, because this is going to be hanging like this. I hope Bae does not decide that she wants the brown side down. But if so, quick fix. Sometimes the paint will be thick and you won't be able to get a good housing. Let's screw these up too, and then we'll come back that way. Just had to make sure it's kind of slanted. Now back in the air we go. Now, since we changed out that since the previous bracket is gone, we are going to be reinstalling one, which is going to be a different variety. So we're going to kind of fit everything off and up through here. Step 1, complete. Now on to step 2. We shall be installing motor bracket. Now we're going to install it by turning this diagonally and dropping it off in yonder, so that we ain't gotta sit here and hold it the whole time. But anywho, now we are going to get into this wiring sequence. We got our black and blue wiring from the fan. This is going to be connecting to the black wiring from the house. So that will be this one here. To ensure security. There we go. We had to put the other half of the white wiring back up there because it didn't fit properly. It was out of place. White to white. Insert orange cap. Twist until secure. Give it a nice tug. Up. It wasn't secure. Tug for security. Last but definitely not least, we're gonna have the ground wire, which is going to be connected right here to the bare, so it's going to be green to bare or green to green if you have that style home, but 9 times out of 10 is going to be green to bare. Then we're going to screw the last cap on. Tug for security. We're going to tuck all of our wiring and sequences back up in here. Let's get this black wire that wasn't necessary. Now we're going to insert our 2 screws here that we removed earlier for safekeeping. Alright fam, so everything is installed as you can see, fingers crossed, and here's hoping that everything functions as properly. We're gonna turn off the ring light and go back to the breaker box and see if anything pops on. Yay, check. Although we're probably gonna get a brighter light though, because when you bulb it up, it's so dim in here. That's a little better, but thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting, and have a bright idea today.